Hi, it's Scott, ROCKFILE, back with another podcast review. Let's talk about the 2022 American horror film, The Outwaters. This is another one of those movies that winds up on those lists, horror movies you've never seen that you need to see at least once, and then it wound up on HamiltonBook.com. The movie is almost out of print by now. Copies on Amazon are over $30. Do not pay over $30 for this film. Found it on HamiltonBook.com for around $10, $11, and that was probably a little much too. Although it is a great package for the film. You get lots of extras. It's got a nice case, reversible artwork, and all that kind of stuff. As an independent release, this is pretty impressive. I probably wasn't in the mood to digest this when I sat down to watch it. I had no idea it was a found footage movie. I don't have the biggest problem, like As Above, So Below. That one I thought was a pretty good found footage movie. I've watched some others over the years since Blair Witch, but this is very much in the vein of Blair Witch. The film opens, it's about a group of people who disappeared back in 2017, and the cards were found in 2022, these memory cards, right? And so the biggest problem that I have with found footage movies is they tried too hard to make it look like found footage. When I shoot video for anything I'm doing, my edits don't really need much trimming. But people like this seem like they start shooting before they've fully pulled the camera out of their pocket. So you get all this, it's everywhere, and then all of a sudden it's on the subject, and then it's everywhere and it's out. And I know, yes, if you were editing video, you would cut that part out. But who does that? Most people set up a shot and then go action, everything's set up. So between every edit in this film, other than a few scenes that are actually widescreen and quite nice, it's a lot of shaking around. And the movie opens, and there's a major section about halfway through of pure blackness and nothing but sound design. Now, the sound design is excellent. The movie opens with a 911 call, and you're hearing what's on the other end of the line. It's horrifying, but this is all basically done with some titles and black screen. Then later in the movie, there's a scene where people are getting attacked or something, and for minutes at a time, it's just solid blackness. They're not showing anything, and it's pure sound design. Again, the sound design is fine, but all of the shaky cam, a lot of stuff in the darkness, not showing you a lot of things. It was really hard to get into this movie for me. If it sounds like your cup of tea, then you're probably, if you like the found footage thing, this will be catnip. The first 20 minutes, we're introduced to the characters. They're not the most particularly interesting people. You have a musician, a female artist. They want to go in the desert and film a music video. When they go out in the desert, bad things happen to them. You spend a long time getting to know them and what each of their, what they're going to be doing in filming the music video. And then there's another 20 minutes of them going out in the desert and finding where they're going to shoot. It's a good 50 to 55 minutes before anything supernatural, otherworldly, or horror-ish happens, other than the screaming at the beginning. I think everybody's fine in the movie. It was written, directed, produced, stars. He also did the cinematography, edited. Robbie Banfitch. Unfortunately, he has no links on Wikipedia, and have not seen much else about him or the other stars. Everybody in the movie does a great job, especially with some of the things they're asked to do later in the movie. So what is this about? It's found footage. We found video cards of these people that went into the desert to film this music video. And all that part's very normal. But once it gets into what's happening, you don't really know. You see bits of bloody this and bits of bloody that and bits of maybe a large creature and maybe this and maybe they're going nuts. Maybe they're being attacked. It's all left for you to kind of figure out. Now, as we get towards the end, you're kind of let in on what may have been happening in the thing. And there may be connected to like cosmic horror, H.P. Lovecraft, Cthulhu, that kind of stuff. Again, it's all left to your interpretation. By the end of the movie, when it finally ended the way it ends, and I don't know if it's a completely satisfying end for everybody, for me, it actually kind of was, because you finally get some decent cinematography here and there, especially in the last half of the movie. There's a scene where someone is kind of losing it, and to give you this perspective, the camera is turned upside down. And it's not shaking around or anything. It's just literally the horizon is upside down. And when you watch film like that, it looks funny to see people walking or running away from you, towards you, whatever. It just looks weird because it's upside down. Well, they do that a lot, but it gives you the same disoriented feel that probably the actor had. And by the end, when it ended, I had a better idea of what the hell was going on through some of it that's a lot of shaky cam, a lot of darkness, and a lot of sound. When it was over, there are the extras on there. There is a prequel short film that's about a half hour, and there's a denouement, a final of short film that's also about 30 minutes. These relate to the events within the movie, before the movie, after the movie, gives you insight into what really happened, what may have led to all of this, what happened after. And that gave me a more rounded view of the film. But the film as it is a found footage movie that's over an hour and 50 minutes. Almost 2 hours, which is a lot for an animated film or a found footage film, just because it's a different experience of what we're used to. I'm fine with watching a movie that's 2.5 to 3 hours, as long as I'm riveted by the cinematography and the acting and the script and all that kind of stuff. But found footage and animation, people over 90 minutes to 2 hours, you start losing them. That's just a part of it. And so this movie, and to fully digest the movie, you need to watch almost another hour of footage. So in all total, the movie is about 2 hours and 45 minutes, 2 hours and 50 minutes, which is quite long for this kind of thing. The pre-movie and post-movie that are in the extras are also done in the same shaky cam, but it turns out maybe somebody else is running the camera. There's a lot to digest here, and it will be something I'll pull out later and watch with like the commentary. There is a commentary. I hardly ever watch movies that way, but this is one of those. Is it a movie I recommend? Probably not. Unless you're a giant fan of like Blair Witch. If you like the camera shaking around a lot, you don't really know or can see what's going on except for glimpses. It's a lot of sound design more than anything. It's people going, oh my God, oh. It's a lot of that. And if that's your cup of tea, then this is your kind of movie. If that's not, I found the first half of the movie quite irritating. But I persevered, and I actually got something out of watching the movie, but I did not know it was found footage. So I'm telling you right now, The Outwaters is a found footage movie from beginning to end. They don't say that anywhere on, I think it won an award at a Found Footage Fest, would have given me a clue. But in everything I read up on this movie, and another reason why I picked it up, like Accident Man, another movie from HamiltonBook.com, it didn't have very many reviews on it. But the reviews that were out there, like critics really like this movie. The public did not like this movie. It got a short theatrical release, and it's streamed on Screambox, and now it's available in a limited edition Blu-ray that's going out of print. Like I said, it's one of those pieces that this is kind of movie history here, because it does, if you're a gore hound, there's some pretty serious gore in the last 20 minutes to half an hour of this film. Even though glimpses of it, there's a lot of it. Some of the creature designs are interesting. Whether or not they were real or not, that's kind of up to you. The Outwaters. I was really looking forward to this. I didn't know it was found footage. I started watching it and really kind of hated it in the beginning. But by the end, if this is found footage is your thing, you'll like this movie. If it's not your thing, you will loathe this movie. Does have some good gore, does have some great performances, and the budget, $15,000. I don't even think, was it shot on iPhone? $15,000, that's on major movies, that's not even lunch for a week, Anyway, The Outwaters was interesting. If I was in the mood for that kind of experience, I probably would have tuned into it a little earlier than I did. But all in all, the filmmaking prowess there was enough that, there is a movie under there. And it is something that if it's your cup of tea, you'll really dig it. The Outwaters, found footage movie, available on some streaming services like Screambox and available in a Blu-ray that's going out of print. I'm Scott, I'm ROCKFILE. More podcasts are on the way. Please like, share, and subscribe, and have a spectacular day.